I have a 2003 calorie spa hot tub, and after having the tub drained and refilling it, the heater is not activating. There is plenty of water flowing through the jets, so it is not airlocked. There is no voltage to the coil of the heater relay. If I manually trip the heater relay, the tub starts to heat up. I have had this problem before when I drained the water and refilled, but it finally started working. This time I have been trying for 2 days. I have not been able to locate a schematic. The controller located inside the hot tub is a Balboa model DUCS 5000 CCA. Hello. My name is XXXXX. Allow me a moment to review your question thoroughly. I'll do my best to answer your question and resolve your issue. I'll give you a few minutes to respond if you can live chat. Otherwise, I will switch over to Q&A mode to continue.
I can live chat.
Great. Hello.
Any ideas?
Does the control panel indicate any error codes or that it is heating with an icon?
There is no error codes, the display panel appears to be functioning as always. There is no heater on icon on the display.
Do you have the dually pump? Or a smaller dedicated circ pump in addition to the usually full-size pumps?
I don't know what the dually pump is. I have one large pump with lines flowing out into the heater and 2 others that bypass the heating element. All 3 lines have shut-off valves.
Most have 2 full-size pumps. One is 2-speed and pump 2 is usually only high-speed. Some have the dually pump, which is 2 pumps on 1 motor, and some have 2 full-size pumps and heat using a dedicated circ pump. OK. The pump that is attached to the heater.
I can only see one pump when I remove the front panel from the tub.
Is it 2 speeds or always on, independent of the jet button being pressed?
2 speeds, low and high. High only comes on when I press the jets button on the display panel.
1 pump total or just one attached to the heater? You mentioned 3 pumps. Only the one attached to the heater is our concern at the moment.
I have manually tripped the heater relay. After I have had it manually tripped for some time, the relay stayed on it and worked briefly. Now it is back to non-operational.
Is the heater pump running low speed constantly?
Sorry, only one pump with 3 lines. Yes, it is running low speed. Unless I place the tub in economy mode, then the pump may stop depending on where it is in its timing cycle. Give me a moment and I am going to double check on the heating light. Yes, there is a heat light which is not on.
Do you know what and where the pressure switch is? It is screwed into the heater, usually to the right of the control box. It will have 2 wires and may or may not be connected to 2 white wires leading into the heater housing.
Yes, it actually has 3 wires connected to it.
There should be only 2 actually connected to the switch.
If this is the one screwed into just before, to the right, of the heater, it has 3 wires. I can send you a picture.
Please.
Please hold one moment.
And of the control panel.
One moment. Full-size image. Full-size image.
Well, you have a dually pump. One motor with a pump on both ends. One pump is connected to the heater, another is not. There is two possible situations that are most likely causing your trouble. 1. The pump connected to the heater has an airlock and is not pumping properly, while the other side is. Most often occurs after a refill or low water condition. 2. A bad pressure switch.
Did I send you a picture of the pressure switch with 3 wires on it?
Only 2 wires connect to the pressure switch, but it does jump and connect through a high limit using the white wires leading into the heater housing. Let's start by checking flow at the primary pump connected to the heater since you just refilled it.
Okay, what do I need to do?
Usually it is easy to tell. But having the dually pump can be hard to tell sometimes because the other side might be actually flowing while the heater side is not. Okay, let's try this. Turn off the power. Close the valve left of the heater on the pipe coming out of it.
Okay, there are 2 valves, only the one directly from the heater?
Just the one after the heater.
Okay, then what?
Now. Carefully loosen the white union nut top of the pump connecting to the heater. Do not remove. Just loosen until water runs out fairly good, then retighten it.
Okay, please hold for a few minutes.
Leave the heater connections alone. We do not want the heater getting wet. Sure.
I will do that now. Then what are the next steps?
Let the water run out of the union with the valve closed still shut. After a few seconds, retighten the union on the pump and carefully open the valve back up. Now turn the power back on and update me. We are trying to remove any air trapped causing the pump to airlock and not flow properly. After it starts back up and is running, check to see if the heat on light comes on at the top side. It may take a couple minutes.
No, the heater light does not come on. There was a lot of water that came out of the fitting when it was loosened.
Please turn the jets to high speed. Double check the union is tight and not leaking as well. Now scroll the temp to 104 and let me know if the heat on light comes on. Is the valve open again? It must be reopened.
The valve is reopened with the jet on high and temp set to 100, the water temp now is 68. I will need to step out for about an hour. Will you be available then?
I should be. Before you leave, if the heat light is not on using high speed.
No, it is not on with high speed. I will try and redo the steps you suggested again with purging the air out of the pump just to be sure.
Carefully remove the wires from the pressure switch and just connect the 2 coming from the control box to the switch. Eliminating the white wires coming out of the heater housing. It is low volts, not dangerous. It does not matter what terminals the black and red wires attach at the switch. Standing by. If all of your jets are flowing strong on high speed and the heat light does not come on after removing the white wires from the pressure switch and just connecting the red or black wires to it. Remove the small black and red wires from the pressure switch and jump them using a paperclip, as long as the pump is running, and the heat light should come on. If so, replace the pressure switch and that should solve the problem. If not, we can troubleshoot further. Tease.
I'm back. I removed the red and black wire only and jumpered them, and the heater is working. When I turn the jets off, the heater remains on, so I need to make sure that I don't burn my heater up. I repurged the heater line as you described previously, but it still didn't work. I am not convinced that the flow sensor is bad. What pressure should I see at the sensor? I have a digital pressure gauge I can connect to verify the pressure. How long can I leave the jumper in place without causing damage?
If the pump is circulating low speed calling for heat, leave the pressure switch jumped and set the temp to 104. At 104 the system will still shut the heater and pump off if working correctly. However, you may then get an error because the N.O. switch is still closed when the system knows it should have opened after the pump shut down.
I have had this identical problem before when I drained my hot tub, and it finally worked fine for more than 1 year. Are you thinking that the switch is bad, or do I have insufficient flow?
Now. If the pump is not flowing properly and you jump the pressure switch, the heater will begin to boil and overheat. Tripping the electrical high limit circuit, shutting down the tub until corrected or restarted. You will know within a minute of jumping the switch because you will hear the water in the heater and the tube will become very hot. Easy definitive test of the pressure switch. It is one of the most often replaced parts.
I will check to see if it is still heating after 15 minutes or so. If it is still heating with the temp set to 104, then I need to replace the sensor. I will let you know as soon as I figure this out.
So, you will get a result either way as to the switch being okay or bad. If you jump it and it heats up to temp then shuts down after reaching temp, pump must be running and temp set higher than water temp, then the pressure switch and just effective. Don't try adjusting it, replace it. If you jump the switch and the heater gets very hot quickly, then you have a flow problem. I hope that makes sense. If the switch is working properly, if you unplug the pump while heating, the heater should shut off within 3 seconds. That is the test for a properly adjusted pressure switch. New ones come adjusted properly for 90% of applications. Heats up while jumped. Replace pressure switch. Boils when jumped. Airlocked pump or broken impeller. Just a tip. Follow the gray wires from the 2 blue covered vacuum switches screwed into the suction plumbing just before the each pump. They join together into one set of wires and plug into the board just like the pressure switch connector. Unplug them from the board and just leave it like that. I am saving you a future potential problem down the road. It's part of the safety suction system and is a redundant feature that only causes service issues. I hope this answers your questions and solves the problem. If you need info on a switch replacement, let me know or just go to any local hot tub place with a service department and ask for a pressure switch. It's a very common basic part. I'll be here to help if you need to follow up. Have a nice day.
So with what you know, you are 100% convinced that I need a new 3-wire flow sensor?
Is it flowing and heating with the heat indicator on lit up on the control panel with the pressure switch jumped? Not overheating?
Yes, that is correct. What pressure should I see at the sensor?
New pressure switch time. Only 2 wires attached to the switch. You can reconnect the white wires in series or not, does not matter. Black/red go to either terminal on the switch, it does not matter. The white wires connected to the red/black PS. Wires is another high limit thermodisc attached to the heater body. Some models use, some do not. There is right or wrong side to measure. We're only dealing with small SI measurements and they vary depending on pipe and pump sizes. The switches are only calibrated to 1.5 to 2 pounds per square inch for most applications. I prefer the Techmark 3029 single pole N. O or the Techmark 3902 in the 1 amp version. You really have dozens of choices. Just get one that is SPNO so you have 2 terminals, not 3. 2 terminals, 2 wires, easy peasy. The purpose of the switch is only to tell the control system that the pressure through the heater is greater than the standing water pressure without the pump running. Very simple, but they go bad. It's common. I have 6 or more on my van always. Teflon tape the treads 3 laps, remove any that can cover the small hole on the bottom and hand tighten the new one in. Close the valves in and out of the heater with the power off, unscrew the old, thread the new one in and reconnect the wires. Turn the power back on. Done. You just saved a service call. I think I have covered the PS topic as much as I can. Do you have any other concerns? You can come back for follow-up after you accept, no worries. I will also check back with you in a week to see if all is good. I have to leave. Do you have any questions before I go? Okay. Nice working with you, great job helping to figure it out. Have a nice day. Todd. Our chat has ended, but you can still continue to ask me questions here until you are satisfied with your answer. Come back to this page to view our conversation and any other new information. What happens now? Or, you can reply to me using the box below.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit JustAnswer.com/YTHI.